Hello everyone, myself Lata Patel. Again, I am back with my new video on the new topic from English course book, the chapter 6, The Magic of Contemporary Toys, and the second topic from English grammar, chapter 12, Pronouns. First, we will begin with chapter 6, The Magic of Contemporary Toys from English course book. So let's begin. The topic, The Magic of Contemporary Toys. Did you know that animals, birds, reptiles, and humans learn the lessons of life through play? Any object can be used as a toy. Lion cubs even play with their parents' tails. You must have seen animals, small animals, the cubs, baby animals, they are playing with their parents' tails and all that. Humans, children play with objects of daily life like spoon, cardboard boxes. Even when I was a small baby, I used to play with spoon and bowls. And when you also must have been a small baby, you must have also played with that. But the favorite playthings are always toys only, right? In India, the oldest toys belong to the 5000-year-old Harappan civilization. These toys were made with natural materials like clay, wood, and stone. That means in earlier Harappan civilization, these toys were made with clay, means that we used to play, that clay, then wood and stone. They depicted ordinary men, women, animals, birds, fruits, and vegetables, as well as the important professionals who existed in those times, the potter, carpenter, and farmer, among others. Depicted means portrayed or pictured. That means the toys they were picturized about ordinary men, women, birds, animals, fruits, vegetables, and important professions. That means at the time there were no cartoon characters like nowadays. So that time important professions was potter, carpenter. So they picturized potter, farmer in the form of toys. And ancient toys are surprisingly similar to the handmade toys of a later days. So this ancient toys, they are similar to on that type of toys which were made in years back. That means 5 years, that civilization, Harappan civilization at the time which toys were made, they are similar to this type of toys. Many regions in India specialize in making toys. In the southern state of Andhra Pradesh, for instance, the name of places such as Kondapalli, Nirmal, Atipakava, and Tirupati are associated with wooden toys crafted with great style. So many regions, many states, many places in India, they are specialized in making this type of toys. That means they have a specialization in making this type of toys. And out of this, some places, southern state Andhra Pradesh, there are some places like Kondapalli, Nirmal, Atikopakka, Tirupati. This are famous for making this type of toys associated, that means linked, that means these places are linked in making this type of toys. Let's have a peep into the world of Kontapalli toys. So let peep, that means just look at this toys, world of toys. Look at the image of toys. Don't the figure give an impression of lifelike charm, like they are little people ready to jump out of the page any minute? Welcome to the world of contemporary toys. So, after looking at this type of toys, they are just looking like lifelike charm, means these are so attractive. This looks so real. This toys so look real. That means they will just jump out of the page. That means if in the page you can see, they will jump out and just speak up. That is called lifelike charm. They are so looking so natural. Kondapalli toys are made in and around Kondapalli, a little village in the Vijayawada district of Andhra Pradesh. So, these are made in a little village named Kondapalli, in little village in Vijayawada district, a city named Vijayawada. In this district, a small village named Kondapalli. These toys are made, and that's why they are famous as Kondapalli toys. The traditional craftsmen who make the famed toys are called Arya Kshatriyas. Traditional, long established, means tradition going on from long time back. These toys are made. That's why it's become a tradition. So tradition craftsmen, those who are making, and they are called Arya Kshatriyas. The toys are made at home and the work involves the entire family. That means where these toys are made, who are making this, their whole entire family, this whole family members are involved in making these toys. This traditional art form has been handed over from one generation to another. It continues to be the main livelihood of the people of Kondapalli. Livelihood means a means of earning money in order to live. That means they are living by earning by selling these toys only, right? They are earning money by making these toys and selling this type of toys. And this tradition is going on from generation to generation. That means from years back they are making this type of toys, and these are moving on. That means father making, then his son is making this type of toys, then his son, that is called from one generation to another, like grandfather, then father, then son. That is called from one generation to another. The craftsmen specialize in themes taken from their immediate surroundings. Scenes from rural life are carved and made into sets of various sizes. So the craftsmen which they make the toys, they take the themes, means on which themes they make the toys, they are making from their immediate surroundings. Scenes of rural life. Rural life means village life they are seeing, and they are making on that themes. Now, how are they made? How these toys are made? Although it is difficult to infuse life into small box of wood, the Kondapalli toys are exemptions. Infuse means to make something have a particular quality. Means to those rural life, that is not easy to infuse in the toys, right? The around local surrounding or the rural life you are seeing, village life, it's not easy to make in the wood, right? To carve in the wood. But the Kondapalli ties are exemptions. That means they are unique. They are very lively. Every small detail, including the appearance of the face, is looked into and carefully carved. That means they look so lively. The toys are looking so real. Every small detail, including the appearance of face. Appearance of face means expression. You can say every feature of the face is beautifully carved. Carved means scraping the wood and they make the face. Now that is called carving. Carved. Making this toys is no child's play. No child's play means a task which is easily accomplished. Okay, child's play means जो easily हो सकता है, but it is given making this toys is no child's play. Means making this toys is not easy. It's not easy to make this type of toys. It takes a very long time to fashion each one. The toys are made out of locally available soft puniki wood, which is easy to carve. So these toys are made with a particular type of wood, and it is called puniki wood, and which is easily to carve. That means must be a soft type of which can be easily scrapped. It is subjected to a process of slow heating to draw out all the moisture. That means this puniki wood is first given a process of slow heating. That means it is slowly heated to take out all the moisture. That means some moisture in the wood that is dry out, and then it is carved to make a toy. The limbs are carved separately and later joined to the body. The limbs here means the parts of the body like legs, head, hand, head, that are made separately and then joined to the main part of the body. The glue used consists mainly of paste made from tamarind seeds. That means the glue which are used to make this join these parts, the body, the hands, leg, then after making, then they are joined to the main part, right? And they use a particular type of glue, and that glue is made from tamarind seed. Tamarind seed, you know, tamarind means that sori fruit, that is from that seeds that glue is made, and that is used to stick these parts of the toy. The brushes used to color the toys are very fine and sharp, made of goat's hair. So the brush which is used to color these toys are also very fine and sharp. And from which hair, whose hair it is made? Goat's hair. Both watercolors and oil paints are used to paint. So watercolors and oil paints both are used to paint the toys. The carving tools used are drill, hammer, axe, bagudari, akarai, and cheeses for finer work. So these are the names of some tools which are used in making these toys to get a finishing, to carving, or just chipping that wood. This type of tools are used. Mythology. Mythology means study of myths. Rural life and animals are the main themes on which toys are made. So toys are made on the themes. Mythology means old stories, that old myth stories. They use that themes, rural life, village life, and animals life. That themes are used for making this type. That means toys are based on these themes. Swans, peacocks, and parrots are popular themes too, as are slice of themes. So, some birds like swans, peacocks, this type of toys are also made. This they take the theme of the birds also. And some slice of themes means or village themes like woman drawing water from a whale, snake charmers, elephant with a mahavat on its back, potters, etc. So that means themes on village based also, like a woman drawing water from a well, or snake charmers. Snake charmers, those who catch the snake, they are called snake charmers. Or elephant with a mahavat, those who train the snake, now they are called mahavat. So this any elephant with a mahavat, this type of also themes are based on toy making. That means they make on these themes also. Mythological figures are great favorites. Lord Krishna, the playful god, is shown playing the flute with a cow listening to it. Mythological figures means ancient figures. Lord Krishna, Lord Ram. You must have heard stories about Lord Krishna, Lord Ram, right? Like so that figures are also made into toys. That means they take the themes from this old stories also. Kondapalli toys bring color and joy. They create awareness about rural life and folklore through play. Folklore means traditional stories. So these toys create awareness about rural life. They tell us about the village life, and folklore means traditional stories also. So we just come to know something about the old stories also through this toys and their play when we use that toys in the play. Can you think of a better way to learn about richness of Indian mythology? So these toys are the better way to learn about Indian stories and Indian old stories, Indian culture and that. In these days of mass-produced Barbie dolls, these beautiful folk toys are a reminder that each one made by hand and so painstakingly is unique, and it creates a beautiful connection with the world around for the child. So in these days you must have seen this Barbie dolls and cartoon characters. This type of toys are made, right? So this Kondapoli toys, they give us a reminder that made by hand, they are made by hands and so painstakingly. That means they need a lot of care. That means those who are making these toys, they keep on a they give an attention to a particular detail. That means particular hand, whichever they are carving on this wood, they take the attention, they pay attention on particular feature, particular kind and particular detail of the toy, and they are unique. And this type of toys create a beautiful connection with the world around for the child. So they give us the tell us about the ancient stories. So they create a beautiful connection between the village life, rural life, and connect us with the old stories also. So here I come and end with the explanation of this chapter, the magic of Kondapalli toys. And then the textual exercise we will continue in the online classes. Meanings, hard words, and question answers also we will discuss in the online classes. So here we come to an end with this explanation of this chapter, and now I will continue with the next topic, or that is grammar, chapter 12, pronouns. So let's continue that topic also. Now let's begin with my new next topic, that is from English grammar, that is pronouns. Children, you must all be knowing about pronouns, right? You are learning from standard 3, I think. So what are pronouns? A pronoun is a word that takes place of a noun or nouns in a sentence. The words like I, you, he, she, it, we, they, these are all pronouns that come in the naming part of the sentence. Like for example, Ravi asks Meera if Meera wants Ravi's back. Children, when we are saying any sentence, we don't repeat the names, right? Instead of repeating the names, we just use pronouns. Like Ravi asked Meera if she want his back. So instead of Meera, we have used she, and instead of Ravi's, we have used his. Both are pronouns. Now, kinds of pronouns. First, we will discuss about personal pronouns. So, what are personal pronouns? Personal pronouns refer to a specific person or thing. Change their form to indicate person, number, gender, and case. Pronouns that replace subject nouns are called subject pronouns. So, the pronouns which are used in the subject part of a sentence, they are called subject pronouns like I, you, he, she, it, we, they. They are used in subject part. An object pronoun function as the object of a verb or preposition in the predicate. That means the pronouns which are used in the predicate part, that are called object pronouns. Like object pronouns examples, me, you, him, his, her, it, us, our, them. These are all object pronouns. Like you can see in this table, you is that pronoun which can be used in the subject part also and the predicate part also. Means you is used in both parts. But and other than that, he is used in the subject part, and for he, him or his is used in the predicate part. She is used in the subject part, and for she, her is used in the predicate part. Like that, we is used in the subject part, and for that, us or our is used in the predicate part. They is used in the subject part, and for they, them or their, that is used in the predicate part. You can see one example. I saw him today. So I is the subject pronoun and him is the object pronoun. Now moving ahead, next kind of pronoun, that is interrogative pronoun. A pronoun which is used to make asking questions easy. Question words, you all know about question words. Examples: who, whom, whose, what, which. These are all interrogative pronouns. So they are used for asking questions. Examples also, just first thing, who, whom, and whose refer only to people. That means whenever we are asking about something about people, then we use who, whom, and whose. What is used for things? That means when we are asking about things, that what is used. Which is used to refer objects or people, which is used for both the things or objects, you can say, and for people also. Let's see example. Who wrote this letter? Right? Asking about some people, some person. That means who wrote this. Whom do you want? Again asking for some person who's there. So whom do you want? Whose book is this? Some one person's book, right? So again, who, whom, and who's used for people. What is this? Asking about something. What is this? So what is used for things. Which is your book? Asking about some one thing. So which is your book? Which of the two boys is your friend? Asking about some person, any boys. So that means which is used for things also and which is used for people also. Okay. Now moving ahead to the next topic, that is possessive pronouns. What are possessive pronouns? Possessive pronouns refer to specific nouns, show ownership, stand alone, and do not modify nouns. Can replace possessive nouns. That means they can be used wherever possessive nouns are there, they can be replaced by possessive pronouns. Okay, what are possessive pronouns? Singular, in we use singular, mine, yours, hers, his, its. And for plural, we use ours, yours, theirs. For example, this pen is mine. This book are ours. Next is reflexive pronoun. A reflexive pronoun is used when the subject needs to refer to itself in the same sentence. That means in a sentence, he or she or you just want to refer to yourself. That means you want to refer to yourself. Something you want to describe about yourself. Then we use reflexive pronoun. For example, he hurt himself. So he is the subject and he is describing about himself. That's why himself is reflexive pronoun. She baked the cake by herself. So she is the subject and she baked by herself, describing about herself. So that is herself is reflexive pronoun. Or just I can say I completed my work myself. So I am describing about myself that I have completed my work. So that self words, himself, herself, myself, or in plural you can say ourselves, themselves. So this type of words are reflexive pronoun. Okay, now next kind of pronoun is relative pronoun, showing relation. Who, which, when, whom, whose, that. This type of words are relative pronoun. So you children, you will think that same words were used in the interrogative pronoun also, and same words are here the relative pronoun. So you will get confused ki this is interrogative pronoun or relative pronoun. But the difference is like when it is interrogative pronoun that are used for asking questions. When you want to ask some question, then this who, which, when, whom, this type of words are used. Like who is your friend? But relative pronouns are that when they show the relation, showing relation between two sentences. Like, for example, I helped a boy who was crying. So that shows the relation between two sentences. I helped a boy. Who you helped? Who was crying. So you show the relation between the two sentences. That means you were helping that boy who was crying. So joining the two sentences, showing the relation. That type of words are called relative pronouns. Okay, next, indefinite pronouns. There are many indefinite pronouns. Pronouns ending in body or one are used to refer to people. That means this pronouns which end with body or one, like somebody, anybody, everybody, nobody, or with one like someone, anyone, everyone, no one. This all are indefinite pronouns, and these are used to refer people. Like, for example, everyone arrived on time in the examination hall. Pronouns ending in thing are used to refer to the things. That means which are ending with thing, like something, everything, anything, nothing. This type are used to refer things. For example, everything is ready for the farewell party. That means all things which party you were arranging, everything is ready for the farewell party. Next type of pronoun is demonstrative pronoun. Those pronouns which point out the nouns in a sentence are called demonstrative pronouns. Means that pronouns, that word which point out the noun, pointing out, they are called demonstrative pronouns. They are for these, that, these, and those. So these is used to indicate the noun which is near and singular. That means this is used when something you are denoting and which is nearby. Like this is my book. This is a car. And these, that is these, this is used to indicate the noun which is near and plural. Means in plural form and it is nearby you. For example, these are my books or these are her toys. Next, that. That is used to indicate the noun which is far and singular. That means something which is far away from you but in singular. Then we use that. That is Ajah's house. That is a kite. That is my book. Like that was that is used. And those is used to indicate the noun which is far and plural. So that means that is the things is far away from you and are plural, then we use those. those are birds, those are my books, those are very expensive. So that is used for far away things and for plural. So children, here I come to an end with the explanation of pronoun chapter. That's all from my side today. Bye everyone and take care.